Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about, so let's delve straight into the topics. So I am going to be giving you some latest news on Milan Skrinar from Inter Milan. I'm then also going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Raul Jimnez, like I have been doing in the last couple of days. And then after that, I am going to be giving you the latest news of what Wayne Rooney has come out and said regarding Louis van Gaal and that. So I am going to start with the news on Milan Skriniar from Inter Milan. So according to recent reports, I actually read this in the Daily Mirror, and I know the Daily Mirror isn't really a reliable source, but they reportedly said that, we've expressed our interest in Milan Skriniar. It also mentions that Real Madrid and Barcelona are also interested in him. Inter Milan have confirmed that Milan Skriniar could be sold. Inter Milan have said they want in the £50 million range for him. So I think it did say that they want around 52.5 million. As it stands at the moment, clubs are not willing to offer any more than £40 million plus add-ons as it stands at the moment. Now, I think Milan Skriniar has been at Inter Milan for quite a few years. Obviously, last summer, Milan Skriniar signed a 4.5 year deal with Inter Milan. So he's under contract with them until 2023. I think he's made around 118 appearances for Inter Milan in all competitions. Inter Milan, I think, did pay around £30 million for him from Sampdoria. So I think he's actually the most, he was the most expensive Slovakian player in history. He was. And back in 2016, he was named the best Slovakian under 21 player was Milan Skriniar, reflecting on his good run of performances. By the way, he was at Sampdoria before he was at Inter Milan. I think he enjoyed around 18 months with Sampdoria. I think before he was at Sampdoria, he was at Zelina, if I have pronounced that correctly. That's, where he did begin his career. Now, Milan Skriniar is 25 years of age, so he is in his mid-20s. So, do you think, he would be good if he was to come to Manchester United? Don't forget, we've been in for Milan Skriniar before. He is predominantly a centre-half, but, you can also play him as a defensive midfielder, so his versatility is very, very good. I think it also mentioned in the media as well that Manchester City have also expressed their interest in him, but I think they have now gone against the decision. So they did express their interest, but now they've gone against the decision and that. Now, Inter Milan, of course, I think are looking to offload players because obviously, at the moment, Inter Milan have got Mario Icardi out on loan. Obviously looking to get rid of Mario Icardi on a permanent transfer. He's on loan at PSG at the moment. Mario Icardi, I think, does want to make a return back to Italy because he did enjoy 6 years at Inter Milan, but don't forget he had the problems and that with the captaincy, and he received a lot of criticism from a lot of the Inter Milan fans. So this is couple of the main explanations why Inter Milan loaned him out, and I think Inter Milan are looking to get £60 million to let him go permanently. They've also got Ivan Perisic out on loan at Bayern Munich. I think they're also looking to get rid of him permanently. Don't forget we went in for Ivan Perisic back under the Jose Mourinho era in 2017, and in reality, we really should have got Ivan Perisic, but the main explanation why we didn't get him, because, we was refusing to meet Inter Milan's asking price. Obviously, as well, Inter Milan have recruited 3 of our players. Of course, they got Ashley Young offers this year. They obviously got Alexis Sanchez offers on loan, but Inter Milan won't be getting him permanently. And also, too, they got Romelu Lukaku offers last summer, and they also got Christian Eriksen in January from Tottenham. Christian Eriksen did enjoy 7 years with Tottenham and that. I don't really know much about Milan Skriniar, to be quite honest with you, but I know that he's good at playing the ball out from the back, and he's very, very effective in the air. He's good at making clearances as well, and do you think he'd go well alongside the likes of Harry Maguire and, Victor Lindelof in our back line? Because reports did say if we was to recommend a centre-half in this summer, then, Victor Lindelof would face competition. Because obviously it did say the other week that we've got persistent doubts over Victor Lindelof. We're not intending on selling him and that, but, we have got doubts over him. But I do believe personally Lindelof is too good to be a backup. But we've got a lot of centre-halves in the team anyway, so do we really need a centre-halves? Because we've got Harry Maguire and Lindelof that are our first choice, like I said, centre-halves. We've got Bay and Tuanzebe that are our backup centre-halves. Obviously, we've got Fosu Mensah that can play as a centre-half. We've obviously got Phil Jones, who's like our fifth choice centre-half. Phil Jones, is he, if I'm right? But obviously, Phil Jones is one of the players that's going to be leaving Manchester United in the summer. Obviously, Chris Smalling and Marcus Rojo are out on loan. I do believe we'll be getting rid of them on permanent transfers. Obviously, Smalling's out on loan at Roma. Rojo's out on loan at Estudiantes. There's uncertainty over Chris Smalling's future. I don't know what's really happening with him. The last time I read into the news regarding Smalling, it said, Roma wanted to get him permanently because he's done very, very well since his arrival in Italy. There's also been talks about Chris Smalling coming back to the Premier League. He says, I think we want around £20 million to get rid of Chris Smalling on a permanent transfer. But I don't think we'll take Smalling back at Manchester United. I really, really don't. And that. So, yeah, revert back to what I said regarding Milan Skrinar. Do you think he would be the right calibre player for Manchester United? Do let me know in the comments below. But there's a few clubs that are in search for a centre-half. Obviously Manchester City, in search for a centre-half. Obviously, they have got Laporte, but he's been injured for the vast majority of this season. They've got John Stones, who's very inconsistent. City are looking for a long-term replacement for Vincent Kompany. Also, too, they've got Otamendi, and they've also got Fernandinho. So, so City, do want to get a centre-half in. So, anyway, that is the latest news on Milan Skriniar from Inter Milan. Now I'm going to delve into the news on Raul Jimnez from Wolves. I've been talking with you about Raul Jimnez regularly, haven't I, like I mentioned. So, reportedly, Manchester United are set to battle it out with Juventus for Raul Jimnez this summer. Now, Duncan Castles from the Sunday Times has come out and said that Wolves are willing to sell Raul Jimnez when the transfer window does open. I think, Wolves themselves have confirmed this. Now, obviously, recent reports have said, we've got no interest of recommending Raul Jimnez into Manchester United. And I'm very, very sceptical that we will sign him, to be quite honest with you. Don't get me wrong, if the opportunity was there, I would take Raul Jimnez at Manchester United. Prolific goal scorer, well proven in the Premier League. But I think Wolves did say if they obviously was to sell him, they would want 88 or 89 million pounds. And I do believe that's far too much for Raul Jimnez, and these cheaper solutions in him. There's cheaper solutions. Obviously, Wolves got Raul Jimnez permanently last summer. They paid around, 34 million to get him permanently, and I think he's actually Wolves' most expensive signing. Raul Jimnez has got a contract with Wolves until 2023. He's got a contract with Wolves. Obviously, before Wolves got him permanently, obviously, he had a season on loan with Wolves, and he also did very, very well then. Raul Jimnez has made 67 appearances in the Premier League, and he has scored around 26 goals. Obviously, before he was at Wolves, he was at Benfica. I heard that he didn't enjoy a great time at Benfica, to be quite honest with you. He was at Benfica for quite a few years. Before he was at Benfica, he was at Atletico Madrid. Enjoyed a few years with them. And he actually, began his career in America, so he was in America's youth system. My element of concern about Raul Jimnez is that he is the age of 29, so he is aging up. But, Man United have been in for him before. I've been reading reports in the last couple of days as well, and it does say that Raul Jimnez would be interested in making a move to Liverpool, but I don't think Liverpool have got any intentions of recommending him in, because, Liverpool do want to get Timo Werner on the board. So they'll prioritise Timo Werner over Raul Jimnez. Obviously, George Mendes, like I said to you a couple of days ago, he's been working with Wolves in recent years. And obviously, this was stemming from the Portuguese newspaper Record, and they said that, George Mendes is working on getting Wolves an adequate replacement for Raul Jimnez, and it does say that Wolves are interested in signing Carlos Vinicius from Benfica. Wolves hope they can get him for around 53 million. Maybe they're willing to go a bit higher. But Benfica, like I mentioned yesterday, have come out and named their asking price. They want 88 million for him. So they want his release clause to be triggered, Carlos finishes, because his release clause is £88 million. That equates to around 100 million in euros and that. So there you go. Obviously, Raul Jimenez is aware of the speculation and that, and he's aware of the amount of clubs that have been linked with him. He's aware of this. Like I said, we've been in for him. Chelsea and Arsenal, I think, have been in for him. And he did say earlier on this month he wants to stay at Wolves, does Raul Jimenez. But he did say if like Real Madrid or Barcelona come knocking from the La Liga, then he would consider leaving Wolves. But I do like Raul Jimenez a lot. He goes well alongside Diego Jota and Adam Traore in Wolves' attacking line. Wolves are a decent side. They've got some good players. I also like Ruben Neves a lot, and I don't mind that Moutinho. Wolves did very, very well last season because they finished 7th in the Premier League last season, did Wolves. And reflects on that, they got qualification for the Europa League, did Wolves. And, don't forget last season they progressed to the FA Cup semi-finals for the first time in 21 years. And I think Nuno Santo is a pretty good manager in that. Raul Jimenez is a striker, and don't forget we are in search for a striker because we're looking for an adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Maybe we did make a mistake by getting rid of Romelu Lukaku. He left the football club last summer for Inter Milan. We got £72 million for him, so we recouped the vast majority of the £75 million that were paid for him from Everton back in 2017. Lukaku did enjoy 2 years at Manchester United and that. But we need an adequate replacement for him. And like I said, look at the other strikers that have been on our agenda. We've been in for Werner. Harry Kane, there was talks about him, but I've already fully disregarded Harry Kane coming to Manchester United because that's not going to happen. Because Tottenham said if they were to sell him this summer, they'd want a world record fee of £200 million. I've been keeping you up to date of what's been going on with Moussa Dembele as well from Lyon. I've been keeping you up to date with that. Because obviously, reports were coming out saying that, we've reached a transfer agreement with Lyon for Moussa Dembele, and reportedly will pay around 61 or 62 million pounds for him. He's another striker I'd definitely take at Manchester United, Moussa Dembele. So yeah, and like I've updated you regarding Odion Ighalo, there's a lot of uncertainty over Odion Ighalo's future. Now, don't forget Odion Ighalo did say that he wants his loan deal at the football club extended. I think his loan spell at Manchester United does expire on the 30th of June. Obviously, Shanghai Shenhua did say that they expect Odion Ighalo to return. They expect Odion Ighalo to return to Shanghai Shenhua in time for the start of the new Chinese Super League season, which I think does start in July. Now, we are facing a dilemma with Odion Ighalo because don't forget it came out last week saying that we will have to pay £20 million to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Whether we'll pay that or not, I do not know. But I think Solskjaer made an admission, and he actually said, did Solskjaer, that he wants to get Odion Ighalo a permanent contract at the club and stuff like that. Obviously, we paid around £4 million to get Odion Ighalo on loan. And obviously, his wages at Shanghai Shenhua, I think, are like 300 grand a week. Out we paying like a third of his wages in that. So there you go. But to be fair, Odion Ighalo has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He has got, 4 goals in 3 starts for the football club. And he has been a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford in that. But I think he'll probably be going back to Shanghai Shenhua. Don't forget, I also mentioned from Sky Sports the other week that Newcastle were interested in Odion Ighalo. But yeah, so we're facing a dilemma over him. So that is the latest news on all of that. Now I'm going to give you the news on what Wayne Rooney has come out and said regarding Louis van Gaal. And this is in a few media outlets, but I've just actually read this in Sky Sports. So Wayne Rooney has come out and said that Manchester United made a mistake by sacking Louis van Gaal. And he also said, did Wayne Rooney, that Louis van Gaal should have been given a 3rd season at the football club, then we would have looked much stronger. Obviously, Louis van Gaal endured 2 years at Manchester United. I think he managed around 103 games for the club. Was that just in the Premier League or was that in all competitions? Not too sure. And yeah, some people believe maybe, Louis van Gaal didn't get enough time at the football club. But Wayne Rooney has come out and made an admission saying that Louis van Gaal is the best manager that he has worked with in that. So there you go. Louis van Gaal, of course, in his 2 years at Manchester United, he did recruit a hell of a lot of players in. And he also got rid of a lot of the players that we did have under the Alex Ferguson era. Louis van Gaal brought players like Falcao in. People will say Falcao is one of the worst signings Manchester United have made. Obviously, he brought Daley Blind in. He brought Memphis Depay in. Memphis Depay endured a very difficult time at Man United. He brought Schneiderlin in. He brought Sebastian Schweinsteiger. He also brought Angel Di Maria in. He brought Di Maria, he brought Rojo and Darmian in. He also brought Martial and Shaw, who are still here now. So Louis van Gaal, did recruit a hell of a lot of players into the football club. But yeah, this is what Wayne Rooney has come out and said. Manchester United should not have sacked Louis van Gaal. Obviously, Wayne Rooney has also said that, he was taught better under Van Gaal than actually, than he was under Alex Ferguson and that, because, Wayne Rooney, of course, did endure 13 years at Manchester United, so he was a very, very long-serving player. We got Wayne Rooney under the Alex Ferguson era. We got Wayne Rooney. Obviously, we paid, I can't remember how much we paid for him, was it around 20-odd million or something like that? But we got him in 2004 from Everton under the Ferguson era. He was at Man United from 2004 to 2017. And Wayne Rooney, of course, is our all-time leading goal scorer with 253 goals in all competitions. And I think he's got around 180-odd goals in the Premier League and that as Wayne Rooney. And obviously, when we let him go in 2017, Wayne Rooney went back to Everton. He did go back to Everton, did Wayne Rooney. He had a short spell there. Then obviously after Everton, he went to the MLS. Had a spell there, and now obviously he's player manager of Derby is Wayne Rooney in that. But yeah, so this is what Wayne Rooney has come out and said, and don't forget we got some silverware on the board under Van Gaal because we did win the FA Cup under his guidance and that. So that is the latest news of what Wayne Rooney has come out and said regarding Louis van Gaal. So yeah. And by the way, we have revealed our transfer plans for the summer. You know what? I think, we can enjoy a perfect summer transfer window. Now, the main explanation for this is because, Liverpool, they may not make any signings in the summer. It came out quite a few weeks ago, saying that Liverpool's summer spending has been put on hold. And also David Ornstein, who was a very reliable journalist, he said, Liverpool may not make any signings. Chelsea, don't know what's going on with them. Chelsea did have a transfer ban, but they no longer got one. Of course, Chelsea did sign Hakim Ziyech, so he's going to be joining Chelsea this summer. Arsenal, they've got a lot of players that have had to take wage cuts, yeah. Tottenham, I don't think they'll spend big. Daniel Levy doesn't like to spend anyway. Manchester City, they're banned from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons. So what are City going to spend? I know they've got a lot of money, but obviously due to the financial fair play, maybe they can't overspend, obviously, so can Manchester City. So reflecting on this coronavirus pandemic, and Manchester United are the ones that could actually, benefit from this. We could actually benefit from it because our summer transfer strategy has made our top 6 rivals fear a lot. So, yeah, we can get, the right calibre players into Manchester United this summer. We really, really can. And obviously, Solskjaer came out the other week and he did actually say that, we will enjoy a different transfer window, to the ones that, we've enjoyed in, to the ones that we've enjoyed recently and that. But Solskjaer has basically said he wants to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer. And, he still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer. And I think a lot of people do like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy. Ed Woodward, has been talking a lot about, plans for, the summer transfer window and that. He came out quite a few weeks ago and says we will not do business as usual in the summer transfer market, due to the coronavirus pandemic, and he basically ruled out big transfers to Manchester United. And he did say, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds on players, but he has given a transfer promise to Solskjaer as Ed Woodward and that. Obviously, Ed Woodward has said on quite a few occasions throughout the course of this season that he's willing to back Solskjaer. Not only that, he's also assured that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe, even though we have enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And like I've said to you before, Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Manchester United, and he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows. But like I said, a lot of clubs are going to face unprecedented summer transfer. A lot of clubs are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window and that, so we could actually, have the perfect summer transfer window. And if we do, then, we can challenge for, the title next season, which is very, very good. And Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up and where he does want to strengthen up. Obviously, our priority targets are Jadon Sancho, Jude Bellingham and Jack Grealish. Then 3 players are going to cost us in the region of around £220 million. But like I said, I've seen changes under Solskjaer. Like, he's changed the tactics, he's changed the personnel. Improvements as well, like I mentioned. I think we really, really have improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. What I mean is, he's brought the players, that we wanted to get in. We have been a bit more sensible with our recruitment, to be fair. He spent 220 million, did Solskjaer, on the 5 players that he has brought in so far. Solskjaer has enjoyed 3 transfer windows so far at the football club and that. And obviously, this summer it will be his 4th transfer window as Manchester United, managing his 2nd summer transfer window. But Solskjaer has been at the football club now almost 17 months. So he has been here over the year, obviously, including the time, when he was the interim manager and that. But yeah, I think the players that he has recommended in have actually, been very, very impressive. Like I mentioned, I think we've got two young upcoming players that are incoming as well. I think that's Joe Hugel from Sunderland, if I pronounce his name correctly. And also to Marc Jawado from Barcelona. I think it mentioned that we paid £1 million or just over £1 million in compensation for him and that. So yeah, so he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows. He really, really does. Don't get me wrong, there's still things Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to work on, like I've mentioned before here. Needs to work out his best formation because he has been changing formation persistently this season. He's been going with a 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3, gone with the 3-5-2 and that. From my own perception, we look more expansive with 3 at the back. So that's something he needs to work on. I also do believe that maybe he needs to make a tactical change as well. Maybe he needs to put Paul Pogba in a different position. Also, Wayne Rooney's actually urged Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to put Paul Pogba in a different position and that. So there you go. By the way, like I mentioned to you, we have got around 9 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So that's something else, we do need to resolve. To be fair, though, a lot of players' contracts have been extended since Solskjaer got recommended into the football club and that. And I expect, a lot of players to stay at Manchester United next season who of course are here now. Obviously we're going to focus on outgoings as well as the incomings in the summer as well, because players are expected to leave this summer. I think we're probably going to get rid of around 6 or 7 players this summer, to be quite honest with you. I think Jones is definitely going to go. Pereira's going to go. Lingard, he actually might not go because there has been talks saying that, we're going to extend Lingard's contract by a further year because he's an option to do that. Disregarding the option of a further year, he's got exactly a year left on his contract as Lingard. Lingard is probably the worst Manchester United player. Hasn't registered 1 goal or 1 assist for over the year. So that just indicates how inconsistent he has been. Delors could possibly go as well because, Delors only played once this season. Well, he's only started 1 game from the start in the Premier League this season as Diego Delors. He's our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. I think it said quite a while back now we're wanting the £30-odd million range if we had to let Diego Delors go. Smalling, Rojo, like I said, they'll go on permanent transfers. Sanchez, he'll probably go back out on loan because we won't be able to get rid of him permanently, reflecting on his substantial wages. Angel Gomez, I also expect him to leave the football club. Angel Gomez, because there's just no signs of us at all getting him a new contract. You know, we've put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, and he's just basically turned these contract offers down as Angel Gomez. You know, we offered him a £25,000 a week one, we offered him a £30,000 a week one, and obviously, you know, he's turned both of them down. Obviously, you know, Chelsea are confident that they can get him. It also mentioned that Arsenal have expressed their interest in him. But we're going to lose him on a free transfer at the end of next month, because that's when his current contract does expire, unless we can get him a new contract, but I don't see it happening. Angel Gomez has only made 6 first-team appearances this season for Manchester United, so his appearances have been limited at the football club, but there has been a lot of uncertainty over his future. So yeah, I think he's going Gomez. I was reading reports today, by the way, regarding James Garner. I was reading reports, and I think, you know, we're planning to loan James Garner out, because James Garner has seldom played this season. I think he's only played once or twice, but it was impressive in the couple of games, you know, that he was involved in. I also think as well we're going to loan Tahith Chong out, you know, because Tahith Chong's appearances have been limited as well at the football club and that. So yeah, I think a few young players are going to go. Like I said though, Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well, to be fair. You know, a lot of the young players have been given their chances this season and that. So that's one thing I do credit him for. Solskjaer anyway has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to the football club. We are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions as well, don't forget. You know, because we was in a good vein of form before the football season got suspended. You know, we're sitting 5th in the Premier League at the moment. You know, just 3 points behind Chelsea. And I'm very, very convinced that we can get qualification for the Champions League. Obviously, the season's supposed to be resuming next month. Like I said, Man United and Tottenham is going to be the first game back in the Premier League, and reportedly it's going to be live on Friday Night Football and that. Really, really looking forward to that game. You know, there is 92 games to play in all competitions. Like I said, not too sure what's happening with the European games. The FA Cup games, last time I heard about that, you know, there was going to be getting scrapped. It's a shame, really, because we progressed to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, where we're obviously, you know, progressed to the last 8 of the Europa League and that. So there's a chance, you know, if the European games can go ahead and FA Cup games can go ahead, you know, we can get some silverware on the board. But FA Cup games probably won't go ahead. But I'm not sure, like I said, what's happening with the European games and that. But the good news is I think the season is resuming on the 20th of June. Or some reports said the 12th. Obviously, it's going to be played behind closed doors. Games are going to be played behind closed doors for a while. Don't forget, you know, the Bundesliga returned yesterday. Borussia Dortmund did beat Schalke by 4-0. And yeah, like I said, you know, we're going to have a fully fit squad. We're going to have a fully fit squad when the season does resume. Rashford's going to be back from his back injury. Paul Pogba is also going to be back because, like I mentioned, Marcus Rashford and Paul Pogba have been big misses for Manchester United throughout the course of this season. But we've had a lot of injuries this season anyway, so reflecting on that, you know, we've had to make a lot of rotation in the squad. You know, we really, really have. But yeah, like I said, I'm back in Solskjaer. I don't know if he's the foreseeable future for Man United. You know, some United fans have got different perceptions on it. Some United fans would say he is, and some United fans would say, you know, he can get us back to being competitive, and some United fans will say that we need to recommend a manager in at the top level, such as a Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola and that. But it's a transition period for us, and it's been a transition period for a while. And, you know, Solskjaer said he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period and that. So there you go. Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. Obviously, you know, we've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era. Of course, we sacked Moyes, we sacked Van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. In the last 6 or 7 years, we've spent close to the £1 billion range on recruiting players in, and we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era and that. You know, so there you go. But like I said, we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 6 or 7 years. It's one of the main explanations, you know, why we've been so inconsistent in that. Like I said, there's players that we've got rid of over the years that we shouldn't have got rid of. You know, we have recruited a hell of a lot of wrong players into the club as well. You know, Ferguson obviously made a mistake when he retired by recommending David Moyes in. You can say we recommended Jose Mourinho in too late and that. You know, so we have made a lot of mistakes. You can arguably say we made a mistake giving Solskjaer the job permanently. But the main explanation why we give Solskjaer the job permanently is reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager in that. So, there you go. This morning, by the way, I give you the news, didn't I, on Grealish? You know the news on Grealish. You know, Villa want £80 million. You know, whether Villa get relegated or not, you know, they will not change their valuation or lower their valuation. They want £80 million. You know the news on Pogba. I've said to you, I think Pogba's staying at Manchester United. I really, really do. But there's still some reports coming out, and this is from L'Equipe, a French outlet, and they've said that Juventus are close to re-signing Pogba. They're willing to include Adrian Rabiot as part of the deal, but I don't see, you know, that swap deal materialising. I really, really don't. You know, there's obviously talks of Ramsey coming in as part of a swap deal. They've offered us Federico Bernardeschi. They've also offered us Milan Pjanic. A month or so ago, they offered us Matthias de Ligt. You know, Douglas Costa's been mentioned in that, but I think Paul Pogba is staying at Manchester United. I really, really doing that. But I hope it works out for Solskjaer. Like I said, he was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance in that. You know, so there you go. You know, Man United is the third club he's managing in his managerial career. He's got some managerial experience now, but the longer he remains in the Man United job, he's going to gain more managerial experience. So before he was at Man U, Solskjaer, you know, he was at Mould, won a couple of Norwegian titles with Mould, and obviously, you know, before he was at Mould, he was at Cardiff and enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff, did Solskjaer. I think he only managed around 29 games for Cardiff. But the main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got Cardiff relegated. Like I said to you as well, you know, there's players, you know, that we've missed out on over the years, and in reality, you know, we really should have signed them. We missed out on players under Ferguson that we should have signed. We missed out on a few players under the Moyes era who we should have signed and that. You know, we should have got Haaland in January under Solskjaer, but we didn't. So there you go and that. But, you know, like I said, you know, we're the most successful team in England. You know, we've won 20 titles, 30 of them Premier Leagues. We're still one of the biggest clubs overall anywhere in the world. But we want to get the Premier League again because we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. The last time we won it was in Ferguson's last season and that. No one will ever replicate Ferguson's legacy at Man United. You know, don't matter who our manager is, no one will replicate his legacy. And no one will last as long as Alex Ferguson did because Ferguson endured 26 years with us, won a total of 38 major honours, obviously developed a lot of young players as well. Ferguson, though, don't forget, didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. So there you go and that. And that's really everything to update you with today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.